Dear participants, delegates, and organizing committee members of the International Conference on Emerging Trends in Electronics and Telecommunications. Greetings from Botswana and a very good day to one and all present here. I am Suresh Shanmugasundram, professor from Boto University, Botswana. Please allow me to observe the protocol. I am honored and delighted to be a part of this international conference on emerging trends in electronics and telecommunications that is scheduled on 19th and 20th February 2021 at PIMPRI CHINCHWAD College of Engineering, Pune, Maharashtra. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the committee for inviting me for such an episode. I also take this opportunity to congratulate the organizing committee members for planning and executing such a kind of technical forum. Technical forums of this nature are very important as they provide a platform to envision research problems by sharing and learning the best practices and innovations that is currently happening around the globe. It also offers an excellent ambience and numerous opportunities for informal networking. I am sure that the theme of this conference is quite relevant and would attempt to address several communal challenges in the contemporary society. I know that the success of the conference depends ultimately on an enthusiastic participation of delegates and presenters in this conference. Hence, I request all the attendees to have a good academic debate across the topics that are presented. I also take this opportunity to convey my best wishes to the other presenters and participants. I'm sure that you will have memorable and a successful event. Having said this, allow me to start with my address, the actual purpose of being here. Before that, I would like to present to you the outline of today's presentation. Firstly, it will be an introduction of the country where I'm currently residing, and then it will be the introduction of the university where I'm currently working. Then we'll see what is engineering and technology and their impact on sustainable development. We'll also be seeing current trends in telecommunications and networks and the impacts. And finally, we'll be touching upon the fourth industrial revolution, followed by a brief summation by highlighting the changes that are currently on place with concluding remarks. Okay, let me briefly introduce you to Botswana. The Republic of Botswana is a landlocked country in southern Africa. Botswana is topographically flat with up to 70% of its territory being the Kalahari Desert. It is bordered by South Africa to the south and southeast, Namibia to the west and north, and Zimbabwe to the northeast. Its border with Zambia to the north near Kazankula is poorly defined due to being in the middle of the Zambezi River. This border with Zambia is at most a few hundred meters long. Botswana is a mid-sized country of over 2.3 million people, and it's one of the most sparsely populated countries in the world. About 10% of the population lives in the capital and the largest city, which is called as Gaborone. Formerly one of the countries with a GDP per capita of about $70 per year in the late 1960s, Botswana has since transformed itself into an upper middle income country with one of the fastest growing economies. The economy is dominated by mining, cattle, and tourism. Botswana has a GDP per capita of about $18,825 per year as of 2015, one of the highest in Africa. Its high gross national income gives the country a relatively high standard of living and the highest human development index of continental sub-Saharan Africa. One interesting factor and aspect of Botswana that I would like to share with all the participants is that Botswana is one of the Africa's most popular and exclusive safari destinations. It is a home to well-known landmarks such as Okavango Delta, the Kalahari Desert, and the Chobe National Park. This is a very interesting point that I want to share. A quadripoint is a point on the Earth that touches the border of four distinct territories. In this case, it's going to be four countries. So in this image, you will see a quadripoint that shares the border of four countries, that is Botswana, Namibia, Zimbabwe, and Zambia. Around the world, there are more than 150 different tripoints, borders where three nations meet, but only one international quadripoint. This is a spot in the middle of the Zambezi River in southern Africa where Namibia, Zambia, Zimbabwe, and Botswana all touch. As I had already mentioned, I'm working in a university called as Boto University. And Boto University is Botswana's largest private tertiary educational provider. It was founded in the year 1997. The university offers certificates, diplomas, and graduate degrees in accountancy, computer science, business, engineering, hospitality, etc. It has two campuses in Botswana, one campus in the country called Lesotho, one in Namibia, and one in Eswatini, formerly known as Swaziland, with a well-established blended and distance learning infrastructure. Now let us try to set the preamble by understanding the definition of engineering and technology and its impact in the recent trends of telecommunications and networks. Now, a variety of meanings have been associated with the terms engineering and technology. Engineering is defined as a systematic and iterative approach to designing objects, processes, and systems to meet human needs and wants. Technology is defined as any modification of the natural or designed world developed to fulfill human needs or desires. Now, when I combine engineering and technology, it becomes engineering technology, which is the practical application of science and engineering to a wide range of real world problems. It is important for us to appreciate the impact engineers have on society through the development and application of new technologies. As the needs emerge, new technological advancements happen across many domains, and it's interesting to note that these overlap and contribute mutually to each other. We have already set the preamble by understanding the definition of engineers and technologists in the previous slide. that also substantiates intelligence and creativity belong to humans. It is quite interesting to see various technological advancements that are currently applied for betterment of communal life. The first breakthrough that I would like to share with you is that all business and information available to society in the real world can be freely controlled through digitized networks. This is accomplished through Internet of Things. Cisco Annual Internet Report is a global forecast analysis that evaluates digital transformation across various business segments. These business segments can be categorized as enterprise, small to medium business, public sector, and service providers. The report covers fixed broadband, Wi-Fi, and mobile. That includes 3G, 4G, 5G networking. Quantitative projections are also provided on the growth of internet users, devices, and connections, as well as network performance and new application requirements. Qualitative analysis and assessments are also provided in four strategic areas: applications, security, infrastructure transformation, and empowering employees and teams. It is available in the Cisco website, and it is very interesting to read these projections. Now let us see the projections for internet users across the globe. If you see the graph presented here, you will see the increasing pattern in the number of internet users across the globe. With this prevailing pattern, it is predicted that nearly two-thirds of the global population will have internet access by 2023. There will be 5.3 billion total internet users, that is 66% of global population by 2023. This is an addition from 3.9 billion in 2018. Now, the number of devices connected to IP networks will be more than three times the global population by 2023. There will be 3.6 networked devices per capita by 2023. This is up from 2.4 networked devices per capita in 2018. There will be 29.3 billion networked devices by 2023, which is up from 18.4 billion in 2018. M2M connections, which is also known as the machine-to-machine connections, will be half of the global connected devices and connections by 2023. The share of machine-to-machine connections will grow from 33% in 2018 to 50% by 2023. There will be 14.7 billion M2M connections by 2023. Now, it is important for us to appreciate the difference between Internet of Things and M2M connections because they sound very similar. In this slide, I will try to give the differences between M2M and IoT, and then we will continue on where we left. Like I said, M2M and IoT, they share some synergies, but there are some rudimental differences. For instance, usually machine to machine is a point to point communication embedded within the hardware at the customer site. In Internet of Things, devices communicate using IP networks incorporating with varying communication protocols. In M2M, many devices use cellular or wired networks, while in IoT, data delivery is accomplished through a middle layer hosted in the cloud. One of the primary differences is that in M2M connection, devices do not necessarily rely on internet connection, while in IoT, majority of devices require internet. M2M has limited integration options as devices must have a communication standards to correspond, while in IoT, a solution that can manage communication is required to have unlimited integration. Now let me continue the highlights in the Cisco report. The connected home applications will have the largest share and connected car will be the fastest growing application type. Connected home applications will have nearly half or 48% of M2M share by 2023, and connected car applications will grow the fastest at 30% over the forecast period, that is from 2018 to 2023. Over 70% of the global population will have mobile connectivity by 2023. The total number of global mobile subscribers will grow from 5.1 billion in 2018 to 5.7 billion by 2023. So this will be 71% of the population. 5G devices and connections will be over 10% of global mobile devices and connections by 2023. By 2023, global mobile devices will grow from 8.8 billion in 2018 to 13.1 billion by 2023. 1.4 billion of those will be 5G capable. The fastest growing mobile device category is M2M, followed by smartphones. The mobile M2M category is projected to grow at 30% from 2018 to 2023. Smartphones will grow at 7% within the same period. The next breakthrough that has created a significant impact is big data, where large volumes of data can be analyzed to create additional value. Once global data started to grow exponentially a decade ago, it has shown no signs of slowing down. It's aggregated mainly via the internet, including social networks and web search requests, text messages, and media files. Another gigantic share of data is created by IoT devices and sensors. It is predicted that data volumes will continue to increase and migrate to the cloud. An interesting insight is that billions of connected devices and embedded systems will create, collect, and share a wealth of IoT data analytics every day all over the world. Now, from the image, you will observe what wireless technologies and how it has impacted our daily lives. The applications of wireless technologies in the real world are perhaps more than what many people know. For example, Google Maps has brought out the Explorer in every single one of us. Self-driving and parking cars use wireless sensors to recognize the space around a vehicle. With wireless technologies as backbone, self-learning machines can send, receive, and analyze data and situations more rapidly and objectively than human beings. You will also see that these technological advancements, that is, big data, IoT, and AI, are interlinked when it comes to the real-world application and are considered indispensable. The other interesting technological advancement or breakthrough is in robotics. And robotics is an interdisciplinary research area at the interface of computer science and engineering. Robotics involves design, construction, operation, and use of robots. The goal of robotics is to design intelligent machines that can help and assist humans in their day to day lives and keep everyone safe. Wireless technology is one means that can be employed in robotics to allow the robot to sense and respond to its environment. This activity uses a simple robot that has two infrared transmitters that send out a beam of infrared light forward of the robot. Using this, automation can be applied to more diversified and complicated tasks. Now let us see the effects of these technological breakthroughs, but mostly positive. With new technology developments, carriers moved to reduce the cost and improve the quality of landline services, moved from circuit switched to internet protocols, moved from narrowband to broadband, and most importantly, moved from landline to primarily wireless last mile connectivity. That which was previously impossible is now possible for society, hence the potential dramatic changes in industrial and employment structures. One significant impact that has been observed ever since data analytics began is increased volume of data in a rapid rate. The other crucial effect or the impact is also evident by seeing the processing capacity. So it is also evident that the processing capacity has seen an exponential progress which had made high performance distributed computing much easier to accomplish. Now we have seen two major impacts or effects, but both the factors have contributed towards seamless use of artificial intelligent applications. That is very critical at this point of time. There has always been transitions in various processes thus transforming economies. The first industrial revolution was the transition to new manufacturing processes between 1760 to 1840. The second industrial revolution was the phase of rapid standardization from the late 19th century to the early 20th century. The third industrial revolution had its beginning in the 1950s, and this revolution brought us the semiconductors, mainframe computing, personal computing, and the most important backbone, which is called the internet. The fourth industrial revolution is considered to be the new era, where a beginning is seen that builds and extends the impact of digitization in many ways. Now, the interesting question is what is happening now, especially after the post industrial society? The technological advancements, especially in networks and telecommunications, has brought many changes in our daily walks of life. There is a change from mass production or uniform services to customized production or services based on individual needs. Now, it's also quite interesting to see the matching of society's unused potential assets with the need of individuals. So, there is a free matching of society's unused potential assets with the needs of individual needs. The well known examples are Uber and Airbnb. It is also very interesting to note that there is a support for replacement for human labor. So, the support of replacement of human labor, recognition, and learning capability are, you can see that this is an absolute replacement but a support towards augmenting the task. Some of the examples are automated driving, delivery using drones. It is also interesting to observe that creation of new services and shift to aftermarket services for products and goods, integrating purchase, payments, and logistics with value-added service. For example, insurance is a very perfect example where your purchase, payments, and all the logistics are integrated together. And of course, all these has led the technology used in the revolution as a common foundational technology across all industries and allows for addressing new needs. As we know, there are two main strategies that the global players follow. The first one is contribution from internet to the real world, and the second one is the contribution from the real world to the internet. These two provide input to each other. Let us quickly look at the contributions from internet to the real world. The perfect examples are Amazon, Google, Facebook. They all provide information to the real world through internet platform. The examples for the other way around are the companies that are shown here, that is from real world to the internet contributions. We have General Electric, IBM, Intel. All these, they actually deduce information from the real world. There are several industries that aim to bring significant changes in human roles and at work, augmenting where required. It is important to note that major players use both the strategies to implement this, that is, taking from the internet or giving back to the internet. For example, using automated unmanned taxi service will move towards a sustainable solution by contributing retention of public transport networks such as buses and metro services. However, a challenge that has to be addressed would be to provide measures for road traffic law, road transport vehicle law, and international conventions for automatic guided driving. Another example, using drones in the construction industry. Using drones in the construction sites increase safety by allowing work on high-rise buildings, and the status of them could be viewed by photographs taken by these drones and stored in cloud storage. However, a challenge that has to be addressed would be to provide measures for issues such as flying beyond line of sight, long distance communication, collision prevention, and encouraging usage. There are numerous other examples like using AI to diagnose skin related diseases. Of course, that comes with the challenge of regularly reviewing the software that acts as a support service. As per the strategies are followed by global players, it is quite important to appreciate the data utilization model. This is because data utilization is a source of added value in respect to the fourth industrial revolution. The first stage comprises of virtual data, where the data are generated from websites and online activities. The platforms are managed by global players like Google, Amazon, and Apple. Please note that the second stage of data will be quite specific and consists of confidential data. The second stage of data is the real data obtained from sensors, deduced from activities of companies as well as individual users. This could be a data on health information, travel, and operation from some factories. Huge volume of data must be shared to compose big data with great advantage arising from corporate cooperation. The societal issues which go beyond our capabilities can be addressed by utilizing innovative technology and data such as wireless technologies and networks. The current societal and structural issues facing the world are low birth rate and aging population and decline of regional economies, a limited energy and environmental constraint, food issues, water issues, and other environmental issues. All these have framed and deduced the needs emphasizing on smart life as shown in this image. The fourth industrial revolution will result in 5 million job losses by 2020. Disruptive global employment trends, including flexible working, the rise of robots, and other forms of automation and big data analytics, will see over 5 million jobs disappear worldwide over the next 4 years. From a survey taken in the year 2018 by the World Economic Forum, the expected average reskilling needs across companies by share of employees for the period from 2018 to 2022 is shown. It is interesting to note that more than 50% of the employees have stated that reskilling is required, however, in different time spans. It is highly probable that middle skill white collar jobs will decrease significantly, while such progress leads to filling the overall manpower shortage. Changes in the business processed in line with the fourth industrial revolution will bring about new employment needs, including middle skill workers. Therefore, it is necessary to develop human resources to respond to changes in the employment structure and to shift the labor force to growth areas. We see a number of emerging areas of opportunity when it comes to the jobs of the future. One of these areas concerns, unsurprisingly, directly technology related jobs in fields such as data analytics and engineering. Another growth area we see is the human centric roles such as the childcare and elder care, but also in teaching. The most in demand jobs in 2017 didn't even exist 5 or 10 years ago. That pace of change is accelerating. An estimated 1.4 million jobs will be disrupted in some way by 2026, forcing workers to seek other work. Some of their skills will be transferable, others may not. By one popular estimate, 65% of children entering primary school today will ultimately end up working in completely new job types that don't yet exist. So while there is opportunity ahead, there is also work to be done to capitalize on it. There is a critical and urgent need to step up the workforce reskilling. While implementing such scenarios and policies, it is important to have innovative solutions that are sustainable. As stated previously, sustainability is the key. Now, sustainability is the ability to exist constantly. In the 21st century, it refers generally to the capacity for Earth's biosphere and human civilization to coexist. Sustainability supports that mission by striving to improve the environmental health and quality of life for our community. Sustainability is important for many reasons, including environmental quality in order to have healthy communities, clean air, natural resources, and a non-toxic environment. Therefore, sustainability is made up of three pillars: the economy, society, and the environment. These principles are also informally used as profit, people, and planet. We might be wondering, why do we need a sustainable development in whatever things we do? Sustainability is the capacity to endure and everlast. So, long lived and healthy wetlands and forests are examples of a sustainable biological systems. Invisible chemical cycles redistribute water, oxygen, nitrogen, and carbon through the world's living and non living systems and have sustained life since the beginning of time. The longer we continue consuming more resources than the earth can sustainably provide and producing more waste than it can absorb, the less able the earth can meet humanity's resource needs in the future, and the fewer people the planet can support long term. If you see the chart, it gives a projection of the world population from 1950 to 2050. In 2050, it is projected and it is manifold. So, which means that to support about more than 10 billion people, it is important to sustain the resources. An increasing population challenges our ability both to live sustainability as a species and mitigate human driven climate change. Given the challenges aggravated by population growth, it is logical to assume that reducing the population size could help address these environmental concerns. The Sustainable Development Goals or Global Goals are a collection of 17 interlinked global goals designed to be a blueprint to achieve a better and more sustainable future for all. The SDGs were set in 2015 by the United Nations General Assembly and are intended to be achieved by the year 2030. The 17 SDGs are no poverty, zero hunger, good health and well being, quality education, gender equality, clean water and sanitation, affordable and clean energy, decent work and economic growth, industry innovation and infrastructure, reducing inequality, sustainable cities and communities, responsible consumption and production, climate action, life below water, life on land, peace, justice, and strong institutions, and finally, partnerships for the goals. To facilitate monitoring, a variety of tools exist to track and visualize progress towards the goals. All intend to make data more available and more easily understood. For example, the online publication SDG Tracker, launched in June 2018, presents the available data across all indicators. The SDGs pay attention to multiple cross-cutting issues like gender equity, education, and culture, cut across all of the SDGs. There were serious impacts and implications of the COVID-19 pandemic on all the 17 SDGs in the year 2020. Engineers can play an important role in sustainable development by planning and building projects that preserve natural resources, are cost efficient, and support human and natural environments. A closed loop human ecosystem can be used to illustrate the many activities of engineers that support sustainable development. Information and communication technologies have enormous potential to fast forward progress on the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals and improve people's lives in fundamental ways. Building the next generation of ICT infrastructure will power the evolution of smart, sustainable cities and communities worldwide. Making modern ICTs more widely available will foster the local innovation needed to spur domestic economic growth, provide decent work, and reduce inequalities. Communications and networks are the center of a new enterprise to build computational models of intelligence. The main assumption is that intelligence, human or otherwise, can be represented in terms of symbol structures and symbolic operations which can be programmed in a digital computer. The level of future uncertainty is increasing around the telecommunications industry, driven by rapid technological, regulatory, and customer demand changes. Still, the opportunities are greater today than ever before for industry players that embrace disruption, reimagine their network services capabilities, and drive growth. The first transformation is the redesign of today's core network business as a customer trust network. The second transformation is the creation of specialized growth engines that leverage the restructured core business to deliver tailored network services, that is, networks as a service, to meet emerging public, private, enterprise, consumer, and wholesale customer needs. The convergence of networks, storage, and processing power have enabled the expansion of the Internet of Things. This has enabled the business models for the delivery of everything from books to the management of transportation and are impacted by the convergence of wireless connectivity, hardware, software, cloud services, data analytics, and artificial intelligence. To conclude, the key to successful shift to the phase of growth is to aggressively reform economic and social system that properly identify and drive technological innovation as IoT, big data, AI, which represent the fourth industrial revolution regardless of developed or developing countries. With this, I end my presentation. I thank you for your time. I once again convey my wishes to all the participants. Please feel free to email me should you have any comments or queries. This presentation is also available in YouTube channel where all my keynotes are available. You will be able to see the URL in this presentation slide. See you all perhaps in a different forum in the near future. Thank you.